He lost, but that loss comes after at least 5 women have accused Franco of inappropriate or exploitative behavior, which he disputes.
In 2018, James Franco was accused of sexual misconduct allegations in which he denied. In 2020, Seth Rogen announced that he will not continue to work with James in the future on some of the best films of all time. However, after the announcement, it was clear that Seth's career post-Franco didn't look bright, with Santa Inc. currently being the worst show of all time. In today's video, I show Franco's early career and downward spiral. He's an American actor, director, and writer. Franco was raised in Palo Alto, California by his mother, a children's book author, and his father, a businessman. He began drinking a lot as a teenager and eventually broke his addiction at the age of 17. Take note of this, we will come back to this later. A strong student, Franco nonetheless dropped out of the University of California, Los Angeles. While taking classes at Playhouse West in Los Angeles, he secured a series of roles in various TV films. Later gained notoriety with his role as the titular marijuana dealer in Pineapple Express, a comedy co-starring Seth Rogen. He starred in numerous roles and wrote a lot of comedy films, which are today some of the best written with Seth Rogen. He even created an acting academy for actors, and this led to the accusations made in 2018 in the wake of a Me Too movement. The claims range from online messaging with a minor to on-set behaviour deemed improper and more, to various actresses on sets and from his academy claiming he was subject to sexual misconduct. James Franco ran an acting class where he would teach young women how to act in sex scenes. Tytha Kaplan described him as manipulative, and if women didn't perform the scenes,
become cranky and send the actress home.
One of these sexual misconduct allegations surfaced on January 11, 2018, when actress Violet Paley tweeted,
#Time's up at James Franco. Remember the time you pushed my head down in a car towards your exposed penis?
The things that I heard on Twitter are not accurate, but I completely support the people coming out and being able to have a voice because they didn't have a voice for so long. One of the things that I've learned is that this is a conversation that needs to be had. There are people and women and others that have not been a part of this conversation, and I believe that this is needed to be a part of this conversation.
However, in 2018, a report was published that blew the allegations wide open.
I felt like I was selected for something based on my hard work and my merit, and when I realized it was because I have nice breasts, it was pretty clear that was not the case. I don't think he started teaching with bad intentions, but he went down a bad path and damaged a lot of people in the process. I feel there was an abuse of power, and there was a culture of exploiting non-celebrity women, and a culture of women being replaceable.
We were all these up-and-coming actors who were so hopeful.
He just took advantage of our eagerness to work and be a part of something bigger.
I got it in my head pretty quickly that, okay, you don't say no to this guy. He would always make everybody think there were possible roles on the table if we were to perform sexual acts or take off our shirts.
5 women from his acting academy all accused him of exploiting his power and position to coerce aspiring actors into unwanted sexual encounters. More of his co-stars came out against him, state that whilst filming a bonus orgy scene for The Long Home, where James was alleged to have removed plastic guards over actresses' vaginas while simulating oral sex. When a co-star refused to appear topless for Franco in another scene, she was allegedly dismissed and sent home. Vince Jolivet, the Rabbit Bandai production company, and Jay Davis, the film's general manager, for $2.2 million, in which the case was settled outside of court.
Look, I'll admit it, I did sleep with students. I didn't sleep with anybody in that particular class, but over the course of my teaching, I did sleep with students, and that was wrong. It's not why I started the school, and I wasn't the person that selected the people to be in the class, so it wasn't a master plan on my part. But yes, there were certain instances where, you know what, I was in a consensual thing with a student and I shouldn't have been. I suppose at the time my thinking was, if it's consensual, okay. I was in recovery before substance abuse. There were some issues that I had to deal with that were also related to addiction, and so I've really used my recovery background to kind of start examining this and changing who I was. Once I couldn't use alcohol to sort of fill that hole, it was like, oh, success, attention, this is great. And so, in a weird way, I got addicted to validation, I guess, or success, or whatever that was. Along the road of trying to get success or climb the top of that mountain, attention from women, success with women also became a huge sort of validation for me. The problem with that is, like any sort of drug, there's never enough.
Franco admitted to flirting with a 17-year-old girl on Instagram. The girl had recorded screenshots of her conversation with James Franco, where he had attempted to entice her to his hotel for a hookup. The 17-year-old Scottish teen was on vacation in New York and bumped into him at a Broadway show he was performing. After being tagged in the photo they took, James continued to flirt with the teenager. He failed in his attempts to persuade her. James gave a disgracefully poor apology when the allegations became public, blaming the trickiness of social media for his actions.
I guess I'm, embarrassed, and I guess I'm just a model of how social media is tricky. In my position, not only do I have to go through the embarrassing rituals of meeting someone, but it sometimes gets published for the world. I use bad judgment, and I learned my lesson.
The aftermath of the incidents hasn't fared any better for Franco, with former friend and collaborator outright stating he would never work with him again in any manner.
What I can say is that I despise abuse and harassment. I would never cover or conceal the actions of someone doing it, or knowingly put someone in that situation where they were around someone like that.
However, he is free to move on to solo projects and various roles in the future. However, it's no secret that these events will leave a stain on a perfect career.
We really pissed off tens of thousands of white supremacists with our new show, #SaintTime, which is now available on HBO Max. Please read the responses to this tweet for confirmation.
Well, looks like you got far without Franco. Never mind. Anyways, huge thank you to Vince and Majora for helping me out with this video. Thanks for watching. And as always, shut the fuck up.